welcome back everyone for an extra long Cobra Kai Season 6 watch party. Now, production for Season 6 is currently on hiatus, and that sucks, but there may be a little good news out of all of this. Now, when Season 6 was announced and was confirmed to be the final season, I floated the idea that maybe Season 6 could have a few extra episodes to finish out the series. Netflix has done this before with shows like Ozark, that had a 14-episode final season. So if it worked before, why not again? There is some more evidence that may be the case. The information comes from the writing and the writer's room. I'll explain. The writer's room is where the basic outline and story beats for each episode are determined. As they progress through the season, they then start writing the scripts. That is why I said in previous videos, the first several scripts for Season 6 were certainly written because they would have been ready at least a month before production started. Now, for previous seasons, the writer's room has always run 12 weeks. We know this precisely based on various tweets John Hurwitz made at the beginning and ending of the rooms. That basically allows 1 week per episode with 2 other weeks to smooth out any other issues. Well, so far the Season 6 writer's room matched that exactly. They started the first full week in February and ended at the end of April. By count, it was exactly 12 weeks. So that means the same as always. Except when Hayden Schlossberg posted this pic of the writers, I couldn't help but notice how he said he was looking forward to working with them over the next couple of months over Zoom. Wait a minute. Couple of months? I mean, they're done, right? It's been 12 weeks. So why would he still be talking with them for a couple of months? I considered saying something right then, but waited. The talks could just be discussing specific script issues and the like. I wasn't sure. Then the strike happened and everything shut down. Production ultimately halted, so clearly nothing was being done anywhere. Well, we got a little more information thanks to a podcast called Open to It. Now, Open to It is a podcast run by 2 women, Megan and Emily. The idea is they're open to try anything you throw at them except anal sex. They also talk extensively about their day-to-day life. I would recommend it if you're interested in the dating, social, and sex life of 2 20-something modern Los Angeles girls. Anyway, it's relevant here because Emily has worked for Counterbalance Entertainment and John, Josh, and Hayden for a few years now. She was an assistant in the Season 5 writer's room, and she's right there in the picture for the Season 6 writer's room. So in the most recent episode, she had on her coworker Olga, that would be her, to explain the writer's strike. Let's put aside the strike for a moment and take a listen to how she talks about all this.
One of my updates in life is that I don't have a job anymore.
Yeah, I'm back to being fun employed.
I've been picketing and striking. Obviously, I was in the writer's room for Season 6 of Cobra Kai, and we had to pause due to the writer's strike. So at least I know I have a job at the other end of this. More than likely, unless something crazy happens and they cancel Cobra Kai, we'll be going back to the room. But
you hear that? She specifically refers to it as going back to the room. That means the writer's room was still in full operation, and according to Hayden, would have lasted for months. And also, the way she's speaking about this, it definitely doesn't sound like she's talking about just another week or 2 of work. There's a lot more to this writer's room on the horizon. And she referred to her work being all remote now. So if they already went 12 weeks, which is the normal for their 10-episode season, what are they doing next? I can only assume it's plotting out more episodes, because what else does a writer's room do? Oh, and just to be clear, when it comes to writing the actual scripts, they're doing that as the room is going. Obviously, they keep writing into production as well. So what I'm saying is, if the entire room was still meeting and was going to continue to meet for the next couple of months, there was almost certainly has to be more episodes coming. And frankly, if they generally do 1 episode per week, as they say, there has to be quite a few more episodes or extra long episodes. There's something else I want to point out. There was another dash of news as Emily was talking about her coworker.
And Olga, who's coming on, she's the other staff writer on Cobra Kai, so we're the same level, but she is just so, like, she's a union girly.
Yeah, Emily mentioned that Olga is now a staff writer, and she was too. That is actually significant for a few reasons. First off, it's a promotion for both of them. They were assistants and script coordinators before. Second, it increases the total number of writers to more than they've ever had on this show. We previously knew Chris Rafferty, him, was replacing Ashley Darnell, her, which was a 1-for-1, but we didn't know Emily and Olga were receiving this promotion to staff writer. Let's count and you can see. Now there are also some writing teams, specifically John, Josh, and Hayden work as a team. Also Joe and Luan are a writing team and do their episodes together. So I'm counting them as one writer even though it's a team. So in the season 4 writers room, Olga was the assistant, then there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 writers. In the season 5 writers room, Emily was an assistant, Olga was the coordinator, and he was another assistant. John, Josh, and Hayden obviously participated in the room, but they didn't write any episodes due to the quick turnaround from Netflix. So the writers were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 5, not a lot actually. Now let's look back at the season 6 writers room. Emily and Olga have been made staff writers. He's an assistant as well as him and her. As for the actual writers this time, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now general standard practice is every writer in the room gets a crack at least one episode. The more senior writers have done 2 episodes for many seasons, and Michael Jonathan Smith wrote 3 episodes for season 5. But generally everyone does at least 1. While with 8 writers, it sure looks like the actual writing duties will be spread wider. That's good for the new writers, but takes away work from the more experienced writers who I believe wrote many of the best episodes of the show. Now granted, some of this could be rewarding hard work and loyalty. They certainly earned it with this show and are working their way up. But loyalty doesn't just open up extra money into the budget. What if the size of the writer's room expanded partially because now there's more work to be done? It almost stands to reason that longer writers' rooms and more writers means there is more to write. How much more? I don't know exactly. However, the more I think it over, the more I wonder if this is like a whole other season. Like they did the normal writer's room 12 weeks for one season and took off to shoot that season. What if there is or was a plan to write and shoot the 2 seasons back to back? Basically, they go into production on season 6 while the writer's room is breaking and plotting season 7. That would also mean the writers would be working on scripts for season 6 while also figuring out season 7. That may seem extreme, but honestly, it's just closer to the way television used to be. Back when there were 22 to 24 episodes a season, it was perfectly normal to be in post-production on one episode, filming another episode on a few down the line, writing the upcoming episodes after those, and then in the writer's room figuring out the plot and story beats for the later episodes. For decades, that was normal, so basically this team could be doing that. There was something else that Emily said that makes me think this could be the case.
At least I know I have a job at the other end of this, more than likely, unless something crazy happens and they cancel Cobra Kai.
It certainly comes across as hyperbole. I don't think Cobra Kai is going to be completely canceled. They were already in production filming when this was recorded, and there's almost zero chance they would cancel a show after starting photography. But what if she's referring to the next season that wasn't written yet? What if Netflix says, nah, screw that extra season, and then just shuts it off at season 6? And that is what was announced, so they don't even risk any public backlash. I don't think that'll happen, but it's worth noting. But I do think maybe season 7 is a top secret surprise. But is it a season 7? Or is it just an extra long season 6? All you do know is definitely something is up with this extra long writer's room. What do you think it could be? Have a great day. I'll see you at the next watch party.